Hey, welcome back to my channel where we're going to be discussing drugstore foundations today, and not as how they look on me and my 57-year-old skin, but how they look on people in my chair. I'm a professional makeup artist, 30 years. I've worked in television and film for 22 years. I'm currently working some days here and there on Nashville 911. It's a new series coming to Nashville from ABC. It's going to air this fall, and some of these I used this week. Glad you're here. This happened, okay? This happened. I've been working in makeup trailers since 2003. I've seen a lot of people, by the way, I'm using Embryolisse, and this is what's always in my pro kit because it's such a good moisturizer and primer in one. Usually by the time actresses or actors get to you, they've done their own skincare, but you need a refresher in order for the makeup to go on really pretty. And so that's why I love Embryolisse. I've been using it since 2015. We used it at ESPN because people would come in with their skincare already done for the day. And Embryolisse can be like a leave-on mask. It can be a primer. It can be a moisturizer and primer in one. And I used it this week, and so we're going to use it on myself, and I love it. I love Embryolisse, and this is a small tube. Usually it comes a little bit bigger than this, but you know, this was probably about $20 on Amazon. Just make sure you always buy directly from the brand. I think you all pretty much know that by now. And then while I tell you about my fall, I'm going to say this. I have been pretty outspoken about not loving liquid foundations for years now. I stopped liking foundation when I was 36 years old. That was 2003. And I love cream makeup. But now that I use Vaseline, I find that a lot of liquid makeups are very beautiful. And so now I'm kind of loving some of these formulas again, and there's very, very good formulas at the drugstore, okay? There just are. And I know that a lot of us are on a tight budget right now, so we are gonna go right in with drugstore. Okay, so here's what happened. I was coming out of the makeup trailer and thought I was paying attention. I had sneakers on. I didn't have a clunky shoe or a high heel. I mean, obviously, and I slipped, and I don't know how I slipped. I don't know if I slipped on the first step, the second step, but before I knew it, I was on the ground so fast, so violently hard, and my butt hurt, you know, because I fell right on my tailbone. That hurt, but what really hurt was my arm. I mean, this hurt so bad. It was just searing hot pain. And I think what happened is, you know, my bottom took, you know, the brunt of the fall, but then the railing that held the stairs, and there was only 4 stairs. It wasn't like a big, huge height, but it was 4 stairs. The railing, I think my arm just hit the railing, and then the whole way down the railing, this happened. So luckily, a really lovely makeup artist named Linda was there, and she's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? She helped me up. I was a little out of it. I was like, wait, how did that just happen? And she's like, it happens. And she's like, you have to report this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to report it. But, you know, I was thinking, oh, I'll do it later. But you have to report these things because it happened on work time, work property. And if anything happens down the line, they need to have a report in the system that I was injured on the job. So, went about my business, but I was not feeling well. And because of the fall, the adrenaline made me kind of cuckoo, like spacey and a little dizzy. And, you know, you see the little dots everywhere and your ears are kind of ringing. And I knew I was in trouble because I know when my adrenaline spikes, then my blood sugar dips. I've been hypoglycemic my whole life, but I've learned how to control it. And so within no time, I started feeling my blood sugar drop. We ran out to the parking lot. We were about to hop on a shuttle and go check like 89 people who were background that day. And we had to check, you know, tattoos and all that. And I was talking to the women, and all of a sudden, and I don't remember this, I said, hey, I'm going to go back to the trailer. And I don't know why I said that, but I think in my mind, I was thinking, I need to sit down in the air conditioning because it was a hot day, like mid 80s. And as I turned to walk away, I fainted. I mean, I blacked out. I don't remember it. And before I knew it, I heard like steps all around me, and Linda, again, once again, my savior Linda, she was behind me propping me up. And then the production department came over, and another makeup artist named Jenny was taking my, pulse, because she used to be a nursing student. So, I mean, I was in excellent care. We waited for the medic to get there, and we determined there were no breaks. I could move my arms and legs in all different directions. I was just badly bruised, and my ego was bruised. They gave me a Coke to regulate my blood sugar. Then I had like a yogurt parfait. And so I was fine. And I worked a 12-hour day after that. So I was okay, but I didn't feel great. And then the next day I came back, I was very sore. That feeling after a car accident was really sore. And, I worked a 15-hour day the next day. So in 2 days, I worked 27 hours. But I'm really glad it's in the report now, because I'm pretty sure I have a slight concussion. I can't think real clearly. That's why this is going to be a short video. I'm going to go right into it. My hair is just kind of air dried. I apologize. I'm just in a gray t-shirt. I slept in this t-shirt last night. I'm going to be honest. I'm on the struggle bus, but I didn't want to miss a video, and I was kind of excited to talk about some of these foundations, okay? So what I want to tell you about is I've never used L'Oreal True Match, so let's try it today real quick. I have the Vaseline on, so this is how I know it's probably going to be great. We're going to shake it, and because we've talked about this before here on my channel, is so many prestige and drugstore foundations are becoming so yellow. They're just cramming everything with yellow, and it's even more yellow on camera. So I went with Cool. This is C3. I don't know if you can see that. This is Cool. By the way, this is back on my iPhone today because I just could not be bothered with, my camera today, you guys. I'm really on the struggle bus. So I'm just going to take this little BK Beauty brush. This is 109. I love it because it's kind of like it's like a little bigger version of a kitten paw. And I'm going to go all through the center of my face. Yeah, I cannot believe I've never tried the shade match. I actually bought this 3 weeks ago. I meant to do a video. I wanted to do a whole L'Oreal video 3 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. And then, things come up, things get in the way. And so I ended up not doing a video. And then I was going to do it last week, but then e.l.f. came out with that beautiful skin tint. So if you didn't see that, I did a whole video last week on that. And I'm going to talk about the skin tint today because I've been wearing it. I wore it for the 12-hour day I worked. I wore it for the 15-hour day. I've been wearing e.l.f. Every day I've been wearing e.l.f. I have a mosquito bite here. I have a mosquito bite here. I have 2 on my hand, and I have a bad one on my ankle. Why do they go after us like that? Then I'm going to take a little bit of the L'Oreal True Match Concealer, and I got this in 3, so it's a little bit more neutral, but I like it a little bit lighter. We'll do under the eyes in a minute. I like my jawline to be a little bit lighter because my neck is light. I don't want a dark color. Don't forget the ears. I see people forget the ears all the time, and then it just looks bizarre when they have kind of a golden or olive face and then their ears are kind of like light or pinky. You cannot forget the ears. Okay, so see how my neck is light? Okay, now I'm not even going to check this out yet because I'm going to use a brand new. So people always ask me about this. It's my favorite blender. It's Cami Nguyen, but Cami Nguyen doesn't make this anymore. She makes a regular rounded size, not the slanted. It's probably because her supply chain just didn't have that shape anymore. And so she came up with this shape, but then I saw on Amazon, Real Techniques had this shape, and I like Real Techniques. And they're female owned, and you can get them at most drugstores, and you can get them at Ulta Beauty. And I think this was like $5 on Amazon. So I'm like, well, let's try this out and see what we think. I don't use these on jobs because once you use them, you just kind of have to give them to your client. You can't reuse them. So on makeup jobs like TV, film, commercial, music video, if it's a high-end client and they're paying big money, I'll just hand them this and they can have this. But, if I'm just doing a bunch of people, or if I'm just, doing a quick job, then I do the little triangle sponges, and they work just as well. I mean, they work great. Okay, let's see how this looks. I feel like that coverage is really pretty. Let's see. The Vaseline really helps the texture. It helps me look better. This is really pretty. This is really nice. Now I could build it up heavier, but I'm pretty much home. Oh my gosh, that's a huge mosquito bite. It's huge, and it's itchy, and I put a pimple patch on it every night, and the pimple patch does absolutely nothing because it's not a pimple, it's a mosquito bite. Let's do this. Oh, do the little bit here. Okay, so I wanted to try the shade match. Is that what this is called? Yeah. I wanted to try, True Match. I wanted to try True Match because I've never tried it, but I want to show you the L'Oreal that I used to use, and I used to send people to buy it, and I also have it in my Pro Kit, and I really like it a lot, and I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, and we're going to do, I'm breaking my own rules. I never go right on the skin because it usually deposits too much in one place, but you get the gist. So this is the True Match concealer too, because I thought, well, if I'm going to try True Match foundation, then let's see how the concealer does. Okay, and then after this, we're going to definitely go into all the foundations that I think are beautiful for mature skin and why, and which ones are in my Pro Kit and why. Okay, let's see how that looks. Looks great. I mean, Vaseline is the real trick here. Okay, now this True Match, it's getting a little dry looking through here, just a little dry and cakey. So that's good to know. I probably personally would not use this on myself, but I'm glad I bought it. I wanted to try it. It looks really pretty on camera. You saw where I put the Vaseline. I've only had this on a few minutes, and already it's looking maybe a little bit drier than I personally like, just a little bit. So just know that. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you what is in my Pro Kit. This is the foundation that I've had in my Pro Kit for years. It's the red formula because on camera, we like it to be more of a natural finish or a matte finish. And so this is the Infallible. It's very watery, but it gives beautiful coverage. And this is the Pro Matte. And I have about 12 of these because I have dark colors too. I do a lot of dark skin. So I love this. And in 2015, the blue formula is Dewy. And I started wearing the blue formula in 2015. I really liked it. I sent a lot of people to buy it. Even 5 years later, people were like, do you still like the Infallible? I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful. I think I would love it even more now that I know my Vaseline trick, but it's very hard to find the blue formula in stores. And so I don't have that right now, but I just used this on some young, beautiful girls this week for the Nashville 911 show, and I really liked how it worked. I also have this in my kit. I don't like this one. I think I'm going to be throwing them away. I have about 4 of them in light, medium, and deep shades. It's just thick, it's hard to blend, and this is the 24-hour one, and it's total coverage, so it's heavy coverage. I even mixed them together, and I was like, I don't like how that's blending, so I think I might be getting rid of these, but this is beautiful. I love these, and if you like Dewy, get this in the blue because it's dewy. And remember, Vaseline is your friend, okay? Now, another thing that I used on Nashville 911, and I don't have it here with me, is Revlon Color Stay. Now, when I worked on Baywatch many, many years ago, Baywatch the movie, not the TV show, we had a whole kit of Color Stay, the Revlon Color Stay, and I liked it. I thought it worked great. I used it on some deeper skin people, some darker actresses and actors, and I liked it. But I used it again this week because I already knew I liked this, and I wanted to see how I liked the Color Stay. And again, I was putting it on young stunt women who are in their late 20s and they have beautiful skin, but it was beautiful. I was really, really impressed. So I just want to say I really like Revlon Color Stay, but again, I would do the Vaseline test if you are mature, okay? These I depotted. This is the L'Oreal Serum foundation that comes with the little dropper. I depot these. I always love that foundation. It's so pretty. Let me know if you like it. But again, Vaseline underneath, okay? I also love this. I used this last year. This is the Revlon Serum Tint. You have to shake it really well. This is beautiful, and I was using this, I think, even before I did the Vaseline trick, and I thought this was beautiful. So it's more of a skin tint, but it has some nice coverage in it, as does the Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint. This has great coverage. In fact, I don't know why it's called a skin tint, because to me it's a little bit more of a foundation, but I really like this. And again, I've used this with my Vaseline and it's beautiful on mature skin. Works on all skin types. I would say this one is all skin types, but maybe you would like this better if you are more normal to dry, okay? And then before any of that, I've been using this for years, the Maybelline BB cream. Now, is this a foundation? No, but this is so pretty in the summer on mature skin. I like the pink formula because it's a little bit more dewy natural or satin finish. And then there's a blue one. This is called Fresh, and the blue one is called BB, I think, Pure. And that's more, a little bit more matte for oily skins. But I have sent countless women to use this in like the last 6 years, 7 years, and everyone loves this. And they'll tell me they're still buying it to this day. So this is really nice. It's a little bit more coverage than a tinted moisturizer. It has your SPF 30 built in, but you know how I feel. I would always still do a full SPF under anything like this, okay? Now, one thing that I tested out back in about 2021 is I started finding professional makeup artists say that this Neutrogena Healthy Glow is a dupe for Armani. I should do a half and half. Let me know in comments if you'd like to see Armani in this half and half, but I love this. And now that I know my Vaseline technique, this is so pretty. The problem is they have a very limited shade range, but I love it. It's got to be the healthy skin, and it's got to be in this glass bottle. It's Neutrogena. It is so pretty. I love how it's dewy. Definitely for a normal to dry skin type. I don't know that I would recommend this for combo or oily skin unless you like really dewy and you want to control it somehow with like a primer under it, okay? I tested this out last fall, maybe, the Revolution Skin Silk. Wow, this was gorgeous. This looked like a high-end foundation to me. One of my favorite liquid foundations in the luxury market is the Givenchy Prisma Libra. It is stunning. This felt a lot like that. This is a dewy finish. It is medium buildable coverage. This was so beautiful, and I've done a video on this. About Face is nice, but I see really mixed reviews on it. So I'm just going to do an honorable mention. I like this on me. Again, I'm normal to dry skin. I do the Vaseline trick under it. I wore this to the Halsey concert about a month ago, and I love this. And some people either love it or they don't like it because they said it oxidizes or it gets patchy. I can only assume they're doing correct skin prep, but I don't want to ever offend anybody. But I think this is an absolutely beautiful foundation. And then good old Wet n Wild. I've been talking about this for about 4 years. I probably started trying this in 2021. It does have an odd smell, but you can get this for like $5, $6 on Amazon. It's gorgeous on mature skin. And now that I know the Vaseline trick, I really believe this could rival anything from Chanel or anything else. I did also get it in the stick. I did not like the stick formula. I tend to not love stick formulas. I think this was very pretty. And then I'm going to just honorable mention, I'm going to talk about this again. I did a video last week on this. I wore this twice last week. In my video last week, I have light shade 4, and it's a little too light. So then I bought light cool 6, number 6, light cool, and it was perfect. People say it oxidizes. I don't have oily skin. It does not oxidize on me, but I've seen the lipstick lesbians talk about how because this has zinc oxide, it goes on really light at first, and then once that zinc oxide settles in, then you can see the true color of the formula. So it does maybe change colors. I haven't noticed that. I wore this 12 hours on set, and then the next day 15 hours on set, and it just gave me just the most perfect, beautiful, like people probably didn't know I had this on. They probably thought I didn't even really have makeup on. I went for a really minimal look, like not even this much makeup that I'm wearing right now. This is so beautiful. I love this. I love this. Let me know if you try this, but I wore this 2 days last week, and then I wore it 2 days outdoors in the heat, working till 4:30 in the morning, came home, took it off. My skin still looked great. I love this. I am so impressed with this. Okay, so there you have it. Let me know if there is something that I did not mention. I have a handful of foundations back here that I didn't bring out because I don't love them, okay, or they're too heavy, or I just don't like them. And again, I'm talking about what works on mature skin, what I've actually tested and tried, not only on myself, but on other people. To be honest, I've never done this on anyone else, the Revolution. I've only done this on myself, but everything else in here, I've tried on other people in my makeup chair, and I know it works, okay? So I hope that helps. Let me know which one you wanna try. Let me know if I'm missing one. Let me know if you disagree with any of these choices. And even though my skin looks really, really pretty, I don't look super blended right here, do I? That looks a little patchy to me. I didn't skin prep super well with this, to be honest. But let me just say, that looks really pretty on camera. But close up, okay, it's been on me, what, 20 minutes, 15 minutes it's been on me. This is creasing really bad right here. It's not getting caught in the crease. When I separate the crease, you don't see it. It's not caught in there. It's just looking dry. It's just looking dry. This is not something, I would not wear this, but would I maybe try it on someone who's normal to oily? Yeah, for sure. Normal to oily or a combo, but I use myself as a guide as a normal to dry. And I think this is just, it's pretty everywhere else. It's pretty on my forehead. It's pretty on my nose, but this is my true test, and I have Vaseline on, so it shouldn't be doing that at all, and it is. So that's disappointing. So maybe I'll be giving this away. Okay, I hope that helps. I don't want to just talk as someone who tries things on myself. I want to talk about things that I've tried on camera, on other people, on television, on film, on commercials, on, you know, I don't do editorial anymore, but like photo shoots. Like I'm a real working makeup artist. And so I hope that you understand that I'm coming to you as a place of, I've tried it on a lot of people, okay? Not just myself. I'm not just someone who started a channel because I like products and I want to tell you what looks good on me. I want to tell you what looks good on everyone, in my opinion. And some of these work and some of these don't. But if I can find this in the blue formula again, not that one, I hate that one. This, if I can find this in the blue formula again, I'll definitely be doing a video on that, okay? Thanks so much for being here. Send prayers for healing, and hopefully my concussion doesn't have a bad consequence. I'm just gonna lay low all weekend because I still am feeling very fuzzy headed. And I did get arnica for this. Everyone on Instagram said, go get arnica, and everyone on TikTok said, go get arnica. So I did. I got arnica cream and I've been rubbing it on, and I think it's actually really helping. I got a massage last night to help with all of my stiffness and pain. Felt like a car accident, okay? But I'm feeling better today, just super foggy headed, which is why I think I might have a slight concussion. But I'm happy you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.